Good morning, friends. Welcome back to the class. I hope you all are safe and healthy at home. Now, let's come into the session number 3, where we are going to cover the last concept under the topic continuity, that is algebra of the function and composition of function. Today we are going to cover these two topics. So let's try to understand what is meant by algebra and what is meant by composition first. Okay, so algebra of the function. What is meant by algebra of functions? It's most important. When you say algebra here, algebra means addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of two or more than two functions, right? So let us say the function, if I am defining f of x as g of x plus h of x. So here the function f of x is the combination, that is what algebra, addition of two functions. Hence f of x is called the algebra of addition of g of x and h of x. Now, in this case, to find the continuity or to check the continuity of the graph, first you need to check the continuity of both the graphs individually. If both the graphs are continuous in their common domain, this is a most important point while dealing with a algebra of the function. They must be continuous in their common domain. Remember. So if the given two functions, individual functions are continuous in their common domain, then the f of x is said to be continuous. In a same manner, if the function is expressible like difference of two functions, the same definition will go. If a g of x and h of x individually continuous in the common domain, then the f of x is said to be in a common domain. Even it go apply for multiplication and division. But while doing the division part, let us say g of if f of x is expressible as g of x by h of x, right? In their common domain, you need to check the continuity. But we know that denominator cannot be equal to 0. That's why h of x cannot be equal to 0. Means while finding the common domain of two functions, we will eliminate those values of x where h of x can be 0 in this manner, right? So here g of x and h of x are called polynomial functions. When I say g of x by h of x, these are called what? Polynomial functions. So basically polynomial functions are what we called as uh, continuous functions, but h of x cannot be equal to 0. So while dealing with the basically g of x by h of x, this combination called rational function. So while dealing with the rational functions, we need to check where the given function is not defined, that has to be eliminated from the common domain. So this is what does mean by the algebra. Now to understand this, now we are taking few questions where we can check whether the algebra of the function is continuous or not. For that, I am taking a question first, algebra of the under the head algebra of the function. Right. Now the question is check the continuity. The question is check the continuity of the function cos x plus sin x. This is a function given. So when you observe this, these are the two different functions. Though they are the trigonometric functions, but these are the two different functions and they are related to a plus sign. Hence it is called algebra of two functions or addition of two functions. So first we'll assume like f of x, let f of x is equal to cos x plus sin x. Just assume like that. And then take this function as g of x and it is h of x. Let it assume as let g of x is equal to cos x and h of x is equal to sin x. Therefore, the function f of x is written as g of x plus h of x, equation number 1, by assuming that. Now, find the domain of the functions which are involved. You know the domain of cos x is a real number, domain of sin x is also a real number, hence the domain of both the function is real number. So you can write here domain of g of x is a real number and domain of h of x is also a real number. So therefore, the domain of g function, right, intersection h function, because we are dealing with the common domain. Common means intersection. So domain of g intersection h is a real number. So we have to check the continuity of the graph at this domain, means for every real number, because point is not given. So you need to check a continuity of the graph in general. For that you need to decide at which constant you can check, and we got that common domain as a real number. Now we are going to check the continuity of the graph at any point in its real number on its domain. So this is the first step you need to do. First, you need to assume the function and split into the function into simplest one. Assume by assuming g of x, h of x, r of x, and so many. And then take the function like this, and thereafter first write down the domain of each individual function, and then write the domain of the common intersection portion. Within this domain, we need to check the continuity. Now let's have a discussion further. So this is a question, and thereafter we are going to check the continuity where in the domain. So what we are saying here, simply the domain of the function f of x will be any real number. So therefore at x is equal to a constant c, where c is belongs to real numbers, and we know that c is any real number. At constant c, we are going to check the continuity of cos x as well as sin x. So first we'll check for the cos x, and we are already assumed cos x as g of x. That's why I'm writing this. Now here we are going to check left hand limit and right hand limit both. Left hand limit, right hand limit, and value of the function at c, that is g of c. G of c. First left hand limit, I am directly writing limit x tends to c, function is cos x, c minus left hand limit, and then we are substituting limit h tends to 0, cos of c minus h. When you substitute 0 in that, so you can get cos c, right? Otherwise you may also use a formula of cos of a minus b, cos a cos b plus sin a sin b. In that way also you can move. So if you substitute h value is 0, you will get cos c. So even limit h tends to c plus function is remains same cos x. So limit h tends to 0. Then when you put the value here, the value of x is c plus h. Then substitute h value 0, you will get cos c. And g of c itself speaks cos c. Simply g of c will be cos c. In this case, you can see all the three parts are same. Therefore, g of x is continuous at x is equal to c, where c is belongs to r. So this is about the g of x. In the same manner, you can go for sin x function, right? So if you are able to get sin x is also continuous, then you can say that g of x is continuous, h of x is also continuous at a common domain, that is real numbers. Hence given function f of x is also continuous. So this is the concept of algebra of functions. So when algebra of the function are there, plus minus multiplication and division of the function, we will check the continuity of the function just by inspecting the common domain first. Within the common domain, we'll check the continuity of the each individual function. If each individual function is continuous, then only you can say the given function is continuous. If one of the function is not continuous, you can say the given function is not continuous. So this is the concept of algebra function. I am leaving this sin x function, continuity of the sin x function for you as homework. You can do yourself. So you might have a question, sir. We are having only single question. Why you are taking left hand limit and right hand limit? It is my habit to take. Instead, you can directly deal with directly limit language without taking LHL and RHL. You may directly deal with the limit of the function, value of the function, and then check and conclude. It will also work. Just like I am showing here, just for your convenience. See, I am checking the continuity of sin x at x is equal to constant, let us say the constant k, where k is any real number, right? So I'm directly writing the limit value. Limit extends to k. Function is sin x. Then substitute the value of k in the function sin k. Then I'm finding the value of the function, that is at k. F of k will be sin k. Now you can say these two are equal. So you can say limit of the function sin x as x tends to k is equal to value of the function at k. Hence, the sin x function is continuous at constant. So hence we can say that f of x is also a constant. Getting my point? So in the same manner, now we are going to take one or two more sums to understand in detail. I am directly taking now the division one, because you know plus minus multiplication will remain same to understand. Only I am taking the division where the domain has to be decreased. Okay. So I am taking the question where we are checking the continuity of the function tan x. This is a function, and you know that tan x can be written as sin x upon cos x. But while defining the tan x as a rational function sin x by cos x, we must know that cos x cannot be equal to 0, which implies x cannot be, that angle cannot be 90 degree or 270 degree. That is what odd multiples of pi by 2. So 2n plus 1 into pi by 2, where n belongs to integers. You know that. At this value cos x is 0. That's why it cannot be odd multiple of pi by 2. So while defining the continuity of tan x graph, we need to take the common domain. So what is the common domain of sin x and cos x? You can say now the sin x domain is what here? Every real number. But the domain of cos x is what? Every real number except odd multiples of pi by 2. That is what I am writing here. First, I am defining domain of sin x is every real number. Here, domain of cos x is every real number except the odd multiples of pi by 2. Therefore, the domain of tan x will be the intersection of these two. That is what r minus odd multiples of pi by 2. So, whatever the constant at which we are checking the continuity of the graph, we are taking a constant c to check the continuity of sin x and cos x individually, while saying c must be any real number except odd multiples of pi by 2. So method will be same, only the thing is that beginning part, that is a common domain. The beginning part would have has to be discussed or explained clearly, written very clearly in which domain you are dealing with. But rest of the part to prove sin x is continuous, cos x is continuous as same. There is no difference in that. So to prove any trigonometric ratios are continuous, we'll convert that trigonometric ratios into what? A simple sin x and cos x language, so that you can use the algebra of the function to prove a function is continuous in its domain. Even if I want to prove the like cosec x function, so I can take into like reciprocal function of sin x. So I can express cosec x as 1 by sin x. Hence, the domain would be what? Sin x cannot be 0. It implies that x cannot be n pi, where n belongs to z. So this is the domain of the cosec x function now, because wherever x is 0 degree or 180 degree or 360 degree, sin x value is 0 and 1 by 0 is not defined. Hence, we cannot check the continuity at those points. So to check the continuity, first we need to define the domain in which the function is defined. So for that you need to take the common domain. So 1 is already a constant, so no need to check the continuity for 1, because already 1 is a constant function. It remains always constant at every real point. So you can say 1 is always a continuous function, sin x is always continuous function at this domain. Hence, cosec x is continuous in this domain. Only while dealing with algebra, you must stick to the common domain. That is a key point in these questions. Fine. Now let's take the last sum under this concept. So I'm taking the combination here. Question number 19 from textbook itself. Question number 19. The function is defined like x minus greatest integer x. Right? Show that this function is discontinuous. We have to show that this function is discontinuous at all integral points. At all integral points means at integer we need to check the continuity. That's it. What does it mean by this question? Just check the continuity of this function at all integers. Means we need to check the continuity of the graph at x is equal to constant, where this constant is belongs to z. So finally given the domain in which we need to check the continuity. So no need to bother about the domain in this case. But if you observe, this is again a combination of two different functions, that is algebra of two functions. Hence, here you can say like let f of x is equal to a question x minus greatest integer function, right? Where we can say this is g of x and this is h of x. So now you have to check the continuity of both the graph individually first. Since it is a linear function, you may also say it's always continuous. Even you can go with the process like LHL, RHL and value of the function, or limit of the function with directly the value of the function at given constant at every integer. So definitely you will get it is a continuous function. But here if you say the greatest integer function is, that is h of x, if you check the continuity at these integers, you will definitely get it is discontinuous at all integers in its domain. So this is continuous, but this greatest integer function is not continuous at all integers. Hence, this f of x is said to be discontinuous at all integers. That is what we have to show. I hope you have understood. Now, if one of the function fail to say discontinuous, it means that the entire function is said to be discontinuous in a given domain or in a common domain. Getting my point? So according to this, you may finish the question number 19, question number 20, 21, 22, question number 22, as well as question number 34. See, so which question you can do from the exercise is 19, 20, 21, 22 and 34 from NCERT textbook. So you can finish it, which is given on the page number 160. So under this algebra of the function, just finish out this part and then you can move with the composition of functions. Okay. Now coming to the next concept, that is composition. What is basically composition means? What do you understand from the term composition means? You have heard about the composition of music instruments. है ना, music compose होता है. So compose means what? When you mix two or more than two functions, more than two instrumental things to produce a new melodious music. So that is what called the composition. Okay, and composition means if one function holds the other function. Let us see. Simply, if I take the function sin x, it is a single function. It is what? F of x is a single function. Yeah, I will assume like it is g of x. It's a single function. Now, in place of x, if I substitute the other function means you may take this function with log x, you may substitute this x with e power x, you may substitute with any other trigonometric function, you may also replace this x with any exponential polynomial function, you may also express this with exponential function. So there are several ways you can replace this x, that is angle, with various functions. So when you replace this one means you are composing sin x function with other functions. So if I replace with this x with e power x, you may also replace this with modulus function. You may also replace with greatest integer function. You may also replace with signum function. You may also replace with reciprocal function. That is what 1 by x form. Okay. So there are several kinds of function we have. If you are replacing a simple function, the value of x with any of the function, that function becomes what? Sine of, instead of sine x, sine of log x, sine of e power x, sine of cos x, sine of x power x, sine of mod x, sine of greatest integer, sine of 1 by x. So this becomes what? Composition of the function. So if I replace, let us say I am replacing this with modulus function. So ultimately the function now becomes sine of mod x. So this is not the simple sine theta trigonometric function. It is now the composition of trigonometric function with modulus function. Now it is not g of x, it is now something which is f of x. Okay, so f of x now becomes what? Composition of two functions. One is sine x, other is modulus x. Okay. So how we will write this composition of two functions in a proper manner? See, if it is given like this, first you will assume the inside function with any other letter, like let h of x. I am representing the modulus function with h of x. So ultimately now this function, this sine of mod x, right, is represented by, let us say, g of x. I am saying like sine of mod x will be what? Sine modulus function. Are you understood? First, what I am saying, let's take the inside function as h of x, pure function, and then take the composition of this function. Like already we have started with g of x is sin x, so sin mod x will be g of mod x. So g of mod x will be what? Sin mod x. So if g of mod x is sin mod x, then g of x will be what? Sin x only. So what we called as here f of x is the combination of g and h. Hence it is represented as g of h of x. So this is a thing you need to analyze in case of composition of functions. So first let's start with the given function is f of x, then take the inside function, pure function is h of x, and then take the entire given function as g of mod x, which will be written as g of x in simplest manner. G of x would be sin x. So we will deal with these two functions. We will deal with h of x and g of x. So first we'll take h of x as a first function, g of x as a second function. Then the combination of means composition of these two functions, g of h of x, g के अंदर h है. So g of h of x is now become what? F of x. So f of x is the composition of g and h, one after the other. It also written as g circle h of x. When you open this, you will get the previous step. So G circle H, we have already discussed this language, gov, for, and gog. These are the four composition functions we have discussed in the relation and function topic. There itself we were discussing the composition of two functions and more than two functions, right? So this is what the discussion again we are taking. It also be written as, in short, f of x is simply with g circle h, the function. Sometimes we are writing g circle h, sometimes we are writing g circle h of x, sometimes we are writing g of h of x. So anyway you can deal with, but answer or meaning would be same. So now I think you have understood the meaning of composition of function. Composition of function. So composition means function of function, means one function is there in the other function. It is not like that the addition or subtraction or multiplication or division of two functions. So that is what algebra function. Okay, that is combination and it is composition. There are minor difference between them. Only the way of expression, but how to check the continuity? The question comes now. How to check the continuity of this function? This is the question now. Again, when you say the composition of the two functions, again you need to prove these two individual functions are continuous in its common domain. Remember, again it's in its common domain. What is the h of x function here? Mod x. So first we will write the domain of mod x function, which you know that it is every real number, and we'll write the domain of which function now? The sine of mod x. Sine of mod x are simply sin x in short, because we are dealing with a simple function, this g of x and h of x, right? So now you can say the common domain of these two functions will be what? Real numbers only. So therefore the domain of f of x would be real number. So again we are dealing with common domain. In its common domain, now we are going to check the continuity at any constant c where c is belongs to any real number. So I am not explaining how to prove the continuity of the mod x function and sin x function, because already been explained in the previous lecture and this lecture. So you may prove this function continuous at constant c where c is real number, and sin x also can be proven. Once you prove these two individual functions are continuous in its common domain, you can say their composition is also a what we call the continuous function at given domain. So this is the concept behind the composition and the algebra of the function. I hope from my point of view it is very clear. Just only the beginning part before you start the actual process of proving continuous of individual function, you need to take care about the like f of x and g of, you have to name first and then define the individual functions, then take their domain and then there take common domain and then start the process. That is the only thing required while dealing with algebra and composition of function. Nothing else. The core part of the solution will be remain same. It's simply a double work. In the previous question, you are dealing with a single function where you are only taking single function. But in this type of question, you have to take two. Always you are dealing with two functions or more than two functions. So you need to take the continuity for two function or more than two function. It is just double or triple work, but nothing else. Only except apart from the beginning, that is the common domain. Fine. So I hope you will have understood this. I'm just writing the question number where you will find the composition of function for practice from NCERT textbook. It is simply we are having question number 31, 32, 33. Question number 31, 32, 33. Only there are three questions basically given, so you can go with that. Okay, so you can finish the exercise. Now coming to the last question, which is considered as very important and being a 5-star question, everybody will must take care about this question. Let's have what is the difference you will find in that question, and this is a unique question which we are going to discuss. Fine. So now I am taking the question number 24 from the textbook. It's a 5-star question I am saying. Question number 24. The function is given. Function is defined like f of x is equal to x square into sine of 1 by x, where x is where if x is not equal to 0 and the value of the function is 0 where x is equal to 0. This is a question. You need to check the defined by f is continuous or not. They are just asking whether this question, this function is continuous question mark. So you may understand at what value we need to check the continuity. At 0 we are talking about. The value of the function at 0 is directly 0. No need to bother about this. Just we need to check whether the left hand limit of the function is equal to right hand limit of the function. If you are able to prove LHL is equal to RHL, which is equal to the value of function is 0, hence you can say it is continuous, otherwise not. That is the general format we are doing. So let's try the first general one. See what will happen. So I'm directly taking the left hand limit. So limit x tends to 0 minus. So since it is not equal to 0 means x is either less than 0 or x is greater than 0. In both the questions, it means that in both the limits the function remains same. So that is why I am taking here left hand limit as it is x square into sine of 1 by x. So if I modify the limit in process, it becomes what? H tends to 0. Instead of, in place of x, we are substituting 0 minus h, that is simply minus h whole square into sine of 1 by h. Are you getting? So now if you simplify further, limit h tends to 0, it becomes h square into sine of 1 by h. If you directly substitute the value of 0, it becomes what? 0 square into sine of 1 by 0. 1 by 0 means again infinity. For that value, we cannot find the value of sine theta. So hence you need to use some trigonometric formulas, right? So for that you can see, if I want to use the trigonometric formula to simplify, what the formula I am having, just see it, look at this one. X tends to 0, sin x by x, value is 1. This you know very well. So when h is tends to 0, it must have like sin x by x form. Getting? So but here h is tends to 0, but in place of h what we have? 1 by h. So you cannot apply the formula of this formula here to simplify further, because we required h only. If it is h tends to 0, it must have h. If it is theta tends to 0, it must have theta. Then only you can apply. See, whatever the x is tends to 0, that must be same. Then only you can apply the formula. So now we start over here to simplify. You cannot directly substitute the value of x, that is because if you do that, you will get some meaningless numbers. Okay. Second, if you want to apply the trigonometric formula of limits, you cannot, because that format is not there. So what else then? This is a question mark. Means in this type of question, you need some extra intuition to the question, right? So what that intuition? If you remember the Sandwich theorem of 11th standard, you might have remembered, right? If the function, any function f of x is lies between g of x and h of x in its common domain, then limit of the function extends to a g of x approaching a constant L, and limit of the function extends to a h of x is approaching constant, means limiting value of these two functions are approaching the same constant, which implies that limit of the function f of x is also approaching same constant. So this is what Sandwich theorem says. So if a function is sandwiched between the given two functions, hence the limiting value of this sandwich, ये जो मसाला है वो मसाला की वैल्यू भी क्या होगा, जो ब्रेड की जो स्लाइस जिस वैल्यू को अप्रोच करेंगे वो मसाला भी उसी वैल्यू को अप्रोच करेगा. This is a general language of the sandwich theorem. So with the help of this sandwich theorem only, I am going to simplify this question. Now see how this will be helpful. See. Now I am taking the sandwich theorem to prove to check the continuity of this graph. Yes. First of all, let's take the function. Whatever the function value, let us say sine of 1 by x. You know that the sine theta function, whatever in its domain, where what is the domain of this function? X may be any real number except 0, except 0. Hence it lies between -1 to +1. That you know the range of this sine theta function. Now I am multiplying with x square because I want this function, so hence I am multiplying with x square on all the sides. It becomes -x square less than x square into sine of 1 by x is less than or equal to x square. Now I want to find the limit, because here now the given function, this is f of x, what we have. This f of x is sandwiched between -x square and +x square. Now if I found the limit of this function, that is -x square, limit of this function, both the functions are approaching the same constant if, then I can say this f of x is also approaching the same constant. That is what Sandwich theorem says. So I am taking the limit. X tends to 0 of minus x square and limit. I am just taking the limit on all the sides. X tends to 0 x square of sine 1 by x, limit x tends to 0 x square. Now you can say this function. If you find the limit of this function, you might get 0. Here also this value is might getting what? 0. See, limit. I am not solving the middle one. Sine x square into sine of 1 by x. Sine of 1 by x, limit. Its value is also 0. Now see, if both the limits are approaching the same value 0, so by Sandwich theorem, you can say limit x tends to 0, x square into sine of 1 by x also approaching 0. So by this theorem, we got to know that the limit of this function approaching 0. Hence, limit of the function is approaching 0, value of the function, that is f of 0, is also 0. Hence, the given function is said to be continuous. Friends, now you can see what is the speciality of this question is we cannot move with the general technique of limit to check the continuity of this function at x is equal to 0. That's why we have taken the previous concept which we have discussed as a Sandwich theorem. With the help of Sandwich theorem, I would say this function, limit of this function is approaching 0 as x tends to 0 and value of the function at 0 is also 0. Hence, the entire function is continuous at x is equal to 0. So, this is the concept behind this question. I hope you have understood and you have enjoyed this session. Based on this, now you can complete the entire exercise, that is 5.1 exercise from the NCERT, including all solved examples. Don't leave a single solved example from the textbook, otherwise your work will be half done only. Okay, so thank you for watching this session and keep on watching, keep learning, keep growing and keep succeeding. Take care and bye bye.